Hey, welcome back, guys. Though there's currently no confirmed release date for Raising Kanan Season 2, we have been blessed with a trajectory in the form of a blanket release date, brief teaser, and every episode title for the forthcoming narrative. In this video, we'll be dissecting each episode title one by one, making predictions based on what we know, along with the hidden meanings of each title in the general lexicon. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my channel donors. If you'd like to be the next one, drop $1 on that Cash App for us. And lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things Power. Here we go. When we last saw the young Kanan, he was being shipped out of town following the shooting of his biological father and New York State Police Detective Malcolm Howard on account of his mother's manipulations. The season ended on a plethora of cliffhangers, including Howard awakening from his coma, Unique in police custody, Lulu recovering from his injuries and at odds with his sister, the aforementioned Kanan on the run to a new city, and Rock sitting on high above all of the chaos she inspired through the influence of a single bullet. Recently, we've been blessed with not only a few new images via teaser, but also a seasonal release date that coincides with the first go-round, summer 2022. But perhaps most generously, Starz has also released every single episode title for Season 2, likely under the thinking that y'all ain't gonna figure out none of this anyway. And they're correct. There's no possible way that we could pinpoint what's to come in the pending 10-episode onslaught. However, we can damn sure try. And given everything we know, a slice of what we'll soon know, and the verbiage of the respective titles, we can have a little fun playing What If, right? So let's begin with episode 1, titled The More Things Change. The premiere's title is a shortened version of the well-known aphorism, the more things change, the more they stay the same. These wise words are attributed to 19th century French critic and novelist Jean-Baptiste Alphonse Karr, and speak to the familiarity of people and environments despite the constant shift in circumstances that surround them. Mackay Curtis, who stars as the young series lead, shed some light on this dynamic in a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, stating that, quote, "It's just a continuation of actions and consequences. There's going to be some stuff happening that, again, you're going to see how it molds and shapes Kanan and what it does to his psyche. The family's in an entirely new space and different dynamic now. So it's them navigating that and figuring out where they can step and where they can't. It's a lot of complicated things going on. It's wild. A continuation of actions and consequences combined with an entirely new space and different dynamic directly corresponds with this first title. The debut episode, in fact, is the one we likely have the most information on for prediction purposes, as it will immediately follow the events of the finale, if not in the moment, then in the coming days or weeks. Rock will be depicted reigning on high. Kanan will have some adjustment issues in his new environment. Lulu may still be experiencing troubles on the road to recovery, and Marvin will most likely be plotting his way out of jail, possibly finding himself temporarily incarcerated with Unique, who'll be fighting a false murder beef courtesy of Rock. These events will continue the consequences from 110, but also offer new spaces for character evolution and narrative execution. The second episode is titled Mind Your Business, and is a play on the saying, mind the business that pays you. This episode could offer insight into Rock's organizational rebuild efforts that began towards the middle of Season 1, during her rift with Unique and subsequent acquisition of the high-rises, an idea inspired by her beau, Symphony Bosket. This could also lend credence to Kanan's own business endeavors in his new environment. Assuming he spends the first half of the season in Maryland, he'll have to establish his own hustler foundation in order to survive in the unknown terrain. This means dodging the potential pitfalls to his business while trying to maintain it. Episode 3 is titled Sleeping Dogs, which is a shortened version of the idiom, let sleeping dogs lie. The meaning behind this quote is to not awaken a person or situation that could cause major problems for you in the spirit of unpredictability. This episode will seemingly address the fates of Unique and Howard respectively, and the blowback that those aggrieved parties may have on the master orchestrator of their current fates, the Big Bad Rock. Also, this could be the episode that sees Lulu officially split from Rock, maybe due to Rock harming or even killing his current lover, Jessica, who has a penchant for meddling in family business. Rock will likely view her as a threat to her family's future by having Lou's ear, and could extinguish the distraction as a result, something to definitely look out for. Episode 4, entitled Pay the Toll, speaks to the desire of someone wanting to cross a proverbial bridge, as the long-form version of the quote alludes to. This could apply to a plethora of characters, but for this prediction, I'll keep it to Kanan. After all, the young hustler is getting his feet wet in a new city, and in order to cross certain boundaries, it's going to cost him something. A toll of sorts that will enable him to hustle freely in different parts of the area. This could also extend to Lulu as well, who wants out the game and will undoubtedly have to pay a severance fee for his freedom, assuming Rock makes it that easy. As it pertains to Rock, she is the new big dog on the block, so if anything, she'll be charging the tolls, not capitulating to them. But we shall see. The 5th episode, entitled What Happens in the Catskills, is perhaps the most compelling of the bunch. It's a play on the adage, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, or for my Kendrick fans, what happens on Earth stays on Earth. Where this title really gets interesting is the understanding of just what the Catskills are. The Catskills are short for the Catskill Mountains, a region located in southeast New York State between Albany and New York City. The attraction is known for its hiking, ski resorts, and rivers, but for the sake of our crime narrative, it would be the perfect place to store a body. This title insinuates that a major death will arrive in episode 5. The question is, who? Maybe Unique's number is finally up, and his body has to be hidden in a far-off area so as not to alarm his collective. Howard is on the docket for death as well, given his current state, but that may be unlikely due to the failed hit on his life and the overt police presence that will surely surround him now that he survived. Kanan could catch a body we've not yet seen in the story, someone new to the series. If he's hustling in a fresh environment, then that'll surely inspire fresh enemies, right? But this is tentative at best due to the location. The Catskills are a New York landmark, and thus, a New York body will more than likely be dumped here. Lastly, keep in mind that episode 5 in Powerverse history is always a big one, in addition to episode 8, and of course, episode 10. But I'll let you guys drop me your thoughts as to who will lose their life here, because someone's number will definitely be up come 205. Episode 206 is called It's a Business, Man, which leaves the aware with the other half never personal. This saying is arguably one of the most known and generally used, and could have several meanings for our characters. Definitely Rock and her family, Lulu more specifically. Their conflict will be a major pillar of this season, if the finale was any indication. So his struggle for independence will combat her plight for supremacy, leading to an inevitable clash that could leave Marvin and the rest of the family's fates hanging in the balance. Lulu could also experience troubles in the music business in this regard, as there's not many ventures more cutthroat than music, sans the drug game itself. 207 is titled No Love Lost, which is a quote that many use to convey that, although you've wronged me considerably, I ain't mad at you. Sometimes separation steps in on drama's behalf in order to evade a critical conflict, and I think our characters will experience more than their share by the time this episode arrives. We haven't mentioned Jukebox much in this prediction onslaught, but remember that her real mother will play a major role this season as well, so there's the lingering emotional trauma that such a bond and possible abandonment could bring. 208 is titled A House Is Not a Home, and it's a callback to the renowned Luther Vandross hit of the same name. Although we have no insight into what's happening at this point, we do know that episode 8 are huge in the Powerverse, and that song maintains subtle clues to what we could experience. Luther belts about a house being incomplete without the one you love there to make it whole. This understanding could insinuate more family drama, specifically between Duke and her mom, but also Marvin as well. We could potentially lose another big character this episode, maybe even a Thomas family member. Who do you think could go in such a tragic event? I'd hate to see any of them leave, but you know it's coming, especially considering the surefire tension and subsequent transgressions that'll arise between Rock and Lou, and Rock and Marvin, who I maintain she was going to have nixed in episode 108 before Lulu's attack. Rock is a ruthless one, no doubt, so eliminating one of her siblings could very well transpire here. We'll see. Episode 9 is entitled Antitrust, and it's an allusion to not only the laws of the same name, but also the inevitable dynamic that'll exist between the Thomases near season's end. This could be the episode where Kanan finally discovers Howard's true relationship to him, placing him at odds with the woman who ushered him into this world. This title could also have a bearing on Rock's street business, as she could be chastised by the game for unethical street business practices, competition stifling, and price gouging. And finally, 210 is aptly titled, If You Don't Know, Now You Know, nigga. Well, not so much the nigga part. The title is a play on the classic Biggie line from Juicy and will be a revelation-heavy installment from where I'm sitting. This will be an episode of secrets spilling all over the screen. Not only will Kanan and Howard's true relationship be explored, but also Juke and her mom's real reason for leaving, as well as any deceptions acquired during this roller coaster second round. If Rock ends up being the culprit behind one of her siblings' death, or someone close to them, then that'll also be unearthed. This season will likely end with the Thomas family more fractured than ever before, leaving a young Kanan to search for answers independent of his forebears. And that'll do it for this one. All the new episodes dissected by the subtle clues in their titles. What do you make of all of this? What are some early predictions you have for Season 2? Be sure to drop me your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop a dollar on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are Power fans, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.